Hello everyone, thanks so much for tuning into Sin's Workshop. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, we are going to be reviewing Silvercloak. Once again, huge thank you to the publisher for sending me an arc of the book. I absolutely loved it. So, L.K. Stephen is also known as Laura Stevens. I have read 2 of her books previously. The Society for Soulless Girls, which I hated that book with a passion, and I do not recommend it to anyone. However, I did give this author a second chance with Our Infinite Fates, and let me just say, you can watch the review for that one as well. Absolutely loved that book. So, I saw Silvercloak, you know, an adult fantasy. It's more like new adult, if you ask me, after reading it, and I'm just like, okay, please live up to my expectations. It's like, I'm a huge fan of you now. I want to continue to be a fan of you. And it did not disappoint, not at all. I loved the world building. So, everyone has magic. You know, everyone has the ability to weave magic. For Saffron, she has a peculiar ability. You know, she can do magic, but she's also immune to magic, right? When she was a little girl, and this is like in the prologue, and this isn't really a spoiler because it is the premise of the book. When she was a little girl, she saw her parents murdered in front of her by the gang called the Blood Moons, right? And after that moment, when she was rescued by the Silvercloaks, which is the police force in this universe, she decided, I'm going to become a Silvercloak, and I am going to bring down this notorious gang, right? So that leads us into where she is now. You know, she's a Silvercloak in training. Basically, she's in like the police academy, the magical police academy, and her mentor kind of discovers, it's like, you're immune to magic. And Saffron, she's just kind of like, oh shit. But they decide there's a use for her. She's going to go undercover with the Blood Moons. She's going to infiltrate them. Since she's immune to magic, she's going to be immune to all the things that would bind them to her, to bind her to them. And of course, while she's there, she meets Levon, the broody, son of the Kingpin, and the tension between them is amazing. It's like a really nice slow burn, enemies to lovers. But what I love about them is the camaraderie that forms between these two characters. Like, she's snarky, she's sassy, and he's just like very stoic. But as they get to know each other, she gets to see different sides of him. She gets to know him on a deeper level. Like, he begins to let down his guard around her. I mean, they bond over this. They're both book nerds, and there's this one little fandom, think Percy Jackson, and they're like, oh, you read that book series? There's going to be a whole festival. The author's going to be there. That whole scene with them bonding over this book series was just chef's kiss, honestly. It was heartwarming. It was relatable for anyone who's a bookworm. It's like, oh, you found your soulmate. I mean, my perfect example, my husband was always saying, he's like, how did I get you? And I'm like, you read Dragonlance. You read Dragonlance. And he's just like, seriously, that's all I had to do to win your heart. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. So, for me, sorry, that part was super relatable, and I absolutely loved that part of the book because it also gives you a deeper insight into the author and the world again, and then unique magic system that exists here. So like I said, everyone has magic. Now, your magic, your internal well of magic, you know, it slowly rejuvenates, but you only get like a certain amount every day that you can use, you know. Just like energy, basically. Like, you get tired. Obviously, you're not like a battery. You can't keep going and going and going. So, that's how their internal well of magic works as well. 2 things refill it. Pain and pleasure. Pain, of course, refills it. Pain makes it refill a little bit faster and creates more potent magic, you know? So it refills it faster and it makes it more potent. Pleasure, you know, just kind of refills it a little faster, but it doesn't make the quality of the spell more powerful the way pain does. So it's really, really interesting to see the magic system and how it works and all the spells and everything. I mean, it really was a lot of fun. Just think kind of Deadly Education by Naomi Novik vibes right there with the way magic is kind of done and orchestrated, but also think a little bit more like Harry Potter. I know taboo to say that right now, but because they have their wands and the wand wood and cores are all very specific as well. So I really enjoy that aspect of the novel, just the world building and building up the magic system in a novel, and I think it was really interesting and a lot of fun. But it was a great read, especially the end. There's a specific type of magic that is forbidden. Absolutely forbidden. It's called time weaving. And why is it forbidden? Well, you can't keep messing up the timeline. You know, if you do that, you risk destroying the fabric of the universe. Which, you know, just like with the same essence with time travel. Like, you can't keep doing that. You're gonna mess everything up. They discover time weaving again. And they discover a way, well, Saffron discovers a way to make time weaving. Because they killed the family line of time weavers. They killed them all. You know? But she has discovered a way to kind of bring it back. And she's just like, oh, so this is how villains are made. They're not born, they're made. And that's a direct quote from the book. She's like, oh, so this is how villains are made. She's going to become the villain now. But for the greater good, so to speak. And also for her own selfishness. But yeah, it was such a great read. I devoured it. I recommend it to everyone. I think it's such a good example of world building and magic systems and a nice steamy enemies to lovers romance, because they are enemies. I mean, his father ordered kind of the deaths of her parents. So it's really, really interesting to see the story just come together and to see all the pieces fit in. So I'm really excited to see the next book. So, Del Rey, could I please, I'm begging you for the follow-up arc, because this book was so good. I'm still really mad at myself for missing out on the Fairy Loot one. It sold out before I could get to it. I just lost track of time, but I was able to snag the Waterstones exclusive edition, so I'm happy about that. You know, I lost out on the Fairy Loot, but I'm happy that I'm getting the Waterstone. So there's that at least. I will take what I can get in this world. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I really do think there's really good characterization, really good character growth, lots of tension, really interesting plot twist, and again, the magic system and the world building is top notch. I mean, I really did like the police force, the Silvercloaks, and I liked how they function very much like an actual police force. Like, you have to take the test, you have to go to academy, you have to pass the academy, and the way they investigate crime scenes and have to, you know, work the streets, it functions very much like an actual police force does in real life. So I really liked how Stevens was able to adapt that aspect into the novel. So yeah, honestly, really good book, top tier. I cannot wait to see where it's going to go next. On that note, thank you all for tuning in. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share with all your book loving friends. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.